I don't know why I keep doing this. I haven't even been watching Tom lately. Anyway, hi. That's probably still a little loud. So, for the record, listening to the Night in the Woods soundtrack tonight, Mallard's Tune. Hey, happy Black Friday, I guess. So, after last night, I continued to play Monster Hunter for a while. Did the dishes before going to bed, and just slept pretty good. I blame the turkey. I have zero brain structure today. I was going to talk about how this is a semi-professional setup today. We're actually working with Backcam, which has steady shot. I'm sure you're thankful for that. We're using the good mic again. I say the good mic. It's not that the mic isn't good, but I think that good mic quality comes more from editing than anything, and also actually taking the time to turn off background noise, which I haven't. So yeah, sorry about that. This is a lower effort solid setup. Still not wearing a shirt. It's weird because I both am self-conscious about it, just because I kind of don't want to subject people to it, but I also don't care. Like, it's not that I care about being seen so much as I don't want to make nobody look at it that doesn't want to. It's about consent. I was not laughing at the thought of consent. Consent is important. It's extremely important. I'm serious. That's not a joke. If you take away anything from this year, it's that consent is absolutely a requirement for anything. Like, if you're out there hand-holding without consent, you should deserve to lose a few fingers. I'm serious. Anyway, respect other people, regardless of who you are and who they are, period. That derailed everything. I should start making like a bullet point list on days like today. Bed, woke up. Today's been pretty chill. Mostly just laid around. Internet's been extra bad today as it was yesterday, so I was not able to join in on any streams, which is a shame, because a friend of mine was doing some interesting little things today. It got so annoying that I called Verizon, and they basically just said, you use data a lot, so you're out of luck. And I was not very kind in return. I tried very hard to be, but then they just started spouting nonsense and saying, yeah, there's nothing we can do, even though I was like, it's never been this slow in the 2 years that we've been doing this. I'm not using more data than usual. It's just slower than usual. What's going on? Like, why are we being throttled extra hard this month? Oh, I don't know, and they're not going to review it because you've used data. I'm just like, that's the stupidest thing I have ever heard, and hung up. So, I then got in an argument with a chatbot on Twitter. Sometimes you have to allow yourself a little bit of anger in ways that are non-harmful. And by got in an argument, I just mean I sent off a passive-aggressive tweet, and of course a chatbot responded to it. DM us your problem, and I'm not DMing you my problem because you're not going to fix it on Twitter. A, you don't have any of my account information, and I'm not providing it to you on Twitter. B, if you did actually manage to pull up my account just from my name on Twitter, You're just going to tell me the same thing your rep did, and we're not going to get anywhere. So I'm going to use this opportunity to shame Verizon a little bit. To give a little bit of a bigger picture, about a month ago, I called in because I was experiencing similar problems. Not to this extreme, but similar problems. And the guy told me basically the same thing, and I was more understanding with him because at that point the internet was at least mostly usable in the middle of the day. Whereas now it just becomes like really hard to do anything at all. It's getting ridiculous. And basically I talked to him for a bit. We discussed some things, and I talked about how, like, I understand there's going to be throttling after so much. I understand the need of it to an extent. But when you do it this hard, it gets pretty ridiculous, and it gets hard to want to stay with you. And he's like, yeah, I get that. We also offer this other plan, blah, 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 blah. And I said, we can't really do that right now with everything going on. And he was understanding. He sent me over some material to review, yada, yada, all that little back and forth. Then the first of the month rolls around. Well, not the first of the month. Then the beginning of our billing cycle rolls around, and everything's fine for a few days. And not too many days in, the internet starts to tank. And then a few days ago, before the holiday, the internet starts to get really, really bad. And then 2 days before Thanksgiving, it starts getting almost unusable. And it's been unusable the last few days. And I'm starting to feel like that's not a coincidence. And I would not put it past Verizon for a second to have logged that we were pitched a plan that may or may not cost us more money. I don't even know. I didn't even look into it that hard because our family is in a stretched enough situation that's not really something I want to put on the table right now. With how frivolous of a thing it is. That's another thing. A lot of this complaining, it's entirely frivolous, okay? I get that. I'm just complaining because this is a vent space for me. I understand that it's frivolous. This is just me wanting to say it out loud so that I don't actually burden people with it. So, appreciate I appreciate the patience of the people that are watching it, and I understand the people that don't want to, But this is first and foremost my journal, so to speak. So, yeah. But anyway, we weren't going to bump up the plan. At the very least, at that time, stress levels in the house were enough that the last thing I wanted to throw on the table was messing with the internet in a way that might not fix things. So I didn't want to come in and we're like, hey, let's jump through all these hoops. Let's maybe have to pay money, and it might fix things and it might not. Didn't want to go through all that. But I can absolutely see Verizon seeing that a plan was pitched to us. We didn't go through with it within a certain amount of time. And so they're slowly scaling our speeds back to encourage us to get on that plan. I would not put it past that company for a second. Not for a second, especially after the death of net neutrality. Like, this is the kind of thing. This is sort of thing is what we were worried about when net neutrality died. It's the beginning of it. It's like just these little things. It's these little things at first, and then it's like extra hard. It starts with people like me who live out in the middle of nowhere and that no one cares about, and then it encroaches its way into slightly less rural areas. Small towns, communities like that, that may have maybe a couple dozen to 100 or so people living there, and then it ends up getting worse and worse over the course of a few months, and before you know it, it's such a widespread problem, but no one can do anything about it because no one has the authority to do anything about it anymore. No one can rein them in, and there's no one to compete because net neutrality is dead. This is the kind of thing we were worried about when that. I refuse to even remember his name. That's how little respect I had for him. But he was basically just a corporate mouthpiece. He used to be, I don't know if he was like a CEO or anything, but he used to be pretty high up in Verizon before he ended up on the board that made the decision to repeal net neutrality. So, screw that guy. Screw Verizon. But, like, they're the only thing we can get out here. But I'm not letting them know that, because honestly the threat of changing service is about the only thing I have to hold over their head at this point. And don't think I won't do it, because that's the only way to get things out of companies like this. I remember growing up, we had Dish Network, and anytime the service was getting really, really bad, because of lack of upkeep on their part, or like because one of their service technicians did a shoddy job or something like that, and they wanted to double charge us for it, we'd be like, well, DirecTV seems to be a nice and upcoming thing, and not only would they come out and fix the problem for free, but like for a month we could watch all the paid movies we want for free. So, and it's like, don't get me wrong, I've been in customer service. I direct my anger not at the people, but at the company. I know it's not Jeff or whatever their assigned name today is fault, and that's not a slight at non-Americans that work there. I feel like if I worked at Verizon, I would not use my real name, because I would not want them to associate. Like, I would want to be able to wash myself of that job when I walked out. I'd be like Chris or Nate. I'd be Nate. There we go. Hi, I'm Nate from Verizon. I would do the same thing. Seriously. So, like, I direct, unless they're being blatantly fraudulent with me. Like today, when the woman was just kind of running me around in circles and just flat out lying to me in some cases, because individual devices log network usage. And I'm sorry if my device and their network is showing differences. That's already shady. So like when my phone was showing that I was using nearly it was almost like 30 gigabytes less data for last month than they were reporting, which wasn't a big deal, but like those gaps were already, like, we've had trouble with different service providers in the past of gaps like that, and I'm like, this is already shady. You're already lying to me. We're done being nice here, because like it wasn't even. I understand we use a lot of data, and I understand it's going to slow down, but the point I was trying to make to her was, and the point she wasn't listening to was, we've been doing internet this way for years, and it has only been slowing down to this level over the past few months. My usage has not gone up. I'm using the same amount of data month to month as I have for years. The plan as a whole is using roughly the same amount of data as it has for a long time. And it's not the pandemic anymore. It's not the pandemic because, these slowdowns started late October, not back when shutdown happened. So they're out of excuses, but their excuse now is just, since you're up on data, that's obviously the answer, so we're not going to do anything about it. And that's just unacceptable. But, I'm sorry, but like, just hanging me out to dry like that when I'm receiving notably worse service than I have been for literally years, even though I'm past their uncapped limit, which, by the way, if someone hasn't taken them to court for branding, like, I hate that they brand this plan as unlimited. That's already shady as crap, and like, I'm not even getting it. Like, I don't even want to get all into that, because that already makes me really, really mad, and I will say all of the bad words all of the time. And I don't want this to just turn into a stream of expletives, because it will. But just like, she wouldn't listen to the fact that this was a serious decrease across all the lines on our plan in the last few months, because the only answer being, We are over data. We've been over data we've been past the premium data every month for 2 years, and it's never been this slow. What's the deal? That's why I'm upset. So, it's just, like, it's cut me off from my friends the past few days. It's to the point where the last time I was on, I was quiet a lot, mostly because I was disconnecting every few minutes, even without trying to pull the video up. So, like, it's taking away my happy place, and the frustration that's building, I am firmly going to direct at Verizon the cause of the problem. But in lighter news, I completed enough of the optional quest to get the Rainbow Shader back and Monster Hunter today. So, that's fun. I didn't mean to rant. I did not go into this video planning to even speak about Verizon beyond I called them and got some bullcrap. That was all I was going to say about that. And that turned into probably a 10-minute rant. Sorry about that. Anyway. Yeah, got the Rainbow Shader back. It's as fun as I remember. Oh my god, I talked long enough that the song rolled over. We're back to listening to that Genshin Impact song I had on a few days ago. YouTube threatened to pause. This is something else that's been happening lately. For some reason on music videos, or I don't understand why it's doing this. Once every couple of months, YouTube insists on pausing in playlists for some reason. But it doesn't do it in the one I play at night. It doesn't, which is just Vinesauce videos, so maybe it's something to do with videos that are over an hour. But, it's done it a couple of times on my PS4, which is where I'm watching Welcome to the Basement right now, and it just did it over here. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, when it rains, it pours, right? when tech wants to not work, all tech just crashes. You can never just have one minor tech problem. If you're going to have a tech problem, everything that runs on electricity in your house is going to act up. Our major air conditioner started freezing up yesterday, which is it's fine for now, and it'll probably be fine, perfectly fine throughout the winter. But it's an early warning sign that we're probably going to have to buy a new one sometime next year. I'm expecting to find the refrigerator not working soon. Maybe if I speak it like that, it won't happen. Instead of saying something stupid like, I hope that's the last of it. Which I'm not saying world, comma. That's not real wood. Again, things are mostly fine. Things are perfectly fine. They really are. Internet is a luxury. Even if it is a point of sanity for me. I can play Monster Hunter just fine without internet. Just have less background noise. It'll be more about the sleeping than it will be about the waking. I'll figure that out. I guess it's more just, phone plans aren't cheap, and we're not paying to be yanked around like this. But then again, I guess we are, because we aren't not paying either. But whatever. This is edging up to 20 minutes, and I'm trying to keep them under that at least. Remember back on the first video when I said these are probably going to be 5 or 10 minutes? What a naive fool I was. This is 2 weeks, too. I just remember that this is 14. I think. Pretty sure. Yeah, this will be 14. I didn't even put a shirt on. I guess the next milestone will be like 4 weeks. So like I say, it's been a month. Should I do a month at 4 weeks or 30 days? It would be 31 days. Someone's watching this. Whoever watches this first, which will probably be Redeemer. What you think? 4 weeks or 30 days? Is there a difference? Yes, there is, actually. 4 weeks is just 28 days, isn't it? It is. Anyway. Now we got a lo-fi beats to chill to version of the disclaimer song from Channel Deleted, which Shizune is on us. I'm gonna go. Brain is not here. Brain is fine. Whatever piece that links brain to mouth not working, it gone. Thoughts are fine. Mouth is functional, but there's just there's a piece in between the two that's shot. I blame Verizon. That's what you do, right? You just blame Verizon for everything. Yeah, that's. And the microphone come unplugged.